I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting of March 24th, 2026. Clerk, please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Bushnell?
Present.
Councilmember Diaz? Councilmember Hines? You could try again, Councilmember Hines.
Councilmember Hines appears to be here virtually, just having some microphone issues.
Awesome, thank
There we go. I'm here.
All right.
Thank you, Councilmember.
There you go.
Councilmember Palmer? Councilmember Rumba?
Here.
Councilmember Stadalge? Absent. Councilmember Scott?
Here.
Councilmember Walker?
Here.
Mayor Ibsen?
Here. Please join me in listening to the land acknowledgement and flag salute led by Councilmember Scott, followed by a moment of silence.
We gratefully honor and acknowledge that we rest on the traditional lands of the Puyallup people where they make their home and speak the Lachute Seed language. Please stand for the flag salute and remain standing for a moment of silence.
We have one modification to the agenda tonight to add a letter in support of Thrive International under the consent agenda as item 4A. We now have a motion before us for consideration.
I move to suspend Rule 4A of the Rules of Procedure of the Council of the City of Tacoma to amend the agenda to add a letter from the city in support of Thrive International on the consent agenda as item 4A.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any council comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adding this modification to tonight's agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion is declared adopted. Anyone wishing to comment on this motion may do so during public comment. Are there any additional modifications to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move to adopt the consent agenda, including resolutions number 41870 and 41871.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Consent agenda is declared adopted. There are no proclamations, recognitions, presentations, or announcements. Moving on to public comment. On tonight's agenda, there are two opportunities for people to comment. Under public comment, you can speak about motions, resolutions, and ordinances on tonight's agenda. Anyone wishing to speak on item 6, resolution number 41872, may do so later on the agenda after the item is presented. This forum is intended to give speakers the opportunity to share their viewpoints and feedback with the City Council to aid in our decision making and is not meant to be a back and forth dialogue. Your remarks should be directed to the City Council and not at individual staff members. If you wish to speak under the public comment period, press the raise hand button near the bottom of your Zoom window or *9 on your phone now so we can see the number of people wishing to testify this evening. If you're speaking in person, please sign up at the back of the room if you've not done so already. Your name or the last 4 digits of your phone number will be called out when it's your turn to speak. Clerk, please read.
This is a time set aside for public comment. Speakers are asked to identify the specific legislation they wish to address.
All right. I'd like to remind everyone to please keep your comments respectful, relevant, focused, and on topic. We strive to provide a comment period where people can feel respected while sharing a wide variety of viewpoints and acknowledge that we may hear comments that conflict with their values. To ensure that all speakers can express their First Amendment constitutional rights, we ask that you refrain from clapping, cheering, booing, or otherwise being disruptive. You will have 90 seconds to make your remarks, so please be mindful of the time frame. As always, you are not required to use all of your time to make your point. If you cannot remain on topic, you'll be given 2 warnings. If you remain off topic, we will have to move on and we'll end your time. We have one in-person speaker, Michelle Reich.
Michelle Reich. I was speaking to resolution sound 873 then defendants project. And yeah, limited family tax exemption. First of all, I don't think there should be any exemptions because that leads to revenue that the city would get to fund other projects. The people would build houses without the exemption. And that's what I believe the market would allow it to take place. I know, and another issue is the growth there. I know the city likes high density growth, and that should be against the environment, high density growth. I believe that encourage high density is against the environment, and it should be curtailed. And so, in relation to that, speaking here in psyops, a person that doesn't speak has no advantage of a person that can't speak. I close with that.
Thank you, Michelle. We have one online speaker, Dylan Roof. Followed by two others.
Hello. Basically, what I wanted to basically talk about was um, the godfather of the European Union, Richard Coudenhove-Kalergi, basically talked about in practical idealism his plans for the ethnocide of the
Uh,
European peoples via
Sir,
mass
are you speaking to
immigration
an item
to
on
white
tonight's
countries
published
and via
agenda?
miscegenation. This is the biggest genocide in human history.
Sir, are you
It's all
speaking to a
part of the
motion on
Kalergi
or
plan
an
to
agenda
breed
item on
out and
tonight's
destroy the
agenda?
white race in Europe and in America.
Since it
Via
appears you're
mass
not
migration.
speaking on
America
something
was
relating to
originally
tonight's
built by
agenda,
the
this is not germane to public comment. We are going to move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Ed Snow, followed by Bill Johnson. Ed Snow? Going once. Okay, well, it appears we are not able to connect with Ed Snow, so we're going to move on to our last virtual speaker, and that is Bill Johnson, and there's a new in-person speaker. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Council. What I was hoping to address today involves the fact that the entire community has been overrun by retarded niggers and third world apes.
All right, sir, are you speaking to any items on tonight's agenda?
All of the white people and it decided to destroy our nice.
Sir, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you speaking to any agenda items on tonight's meeting?
Stupid.
Seeing none, we're going to close public comment virtually, and we have one more speaker in person, Ms. Marilyn Kimbling. Why don't you please come on up?
Good evening, Council. I had to search really hard to find something on the agenda that was even tangentially related to what I'm interested in. But I want to speak tonight to the first resolution S41870, a resolution of budgeting for the stormwater, which I think is a wonderful idea. But I wonder where the money is to protect all of our wetlands and to protect land from being paved over and warehouses and parking lots put on it. I want to remind you that we are creatures of earth too, and all of the living forms on this life, on this planet, the frogs, the salamanders, we need to do more to protect our wetlands and all of our open spaces and to protect our planet from climate chaos. And so I just want to bring your attention to money going for this, which is a good start, so that I'm on topic. But please remember that the planet needs your love, and we can do our part in Tacoma too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kilming. And with that, we have no other speakers signed up. So we're going to close public comment and move on to our regular agenda. Item number 6, this item will have a PowerPoint presentation. Clerk, please read.
Resolution 41872, a resolution expressing support for the passage of Proposition Number 1 submitted by Metropolitan Park District of Tacoma at the April 28, 2026 special election, which reads as follows. The Board of Park Commissioners of the Metropolitan Park District of Tacoma adopted Resolution Number RR 426 concerning safety and improvement bonds for neighborhood parks and recreation facilities. This proposition authorizes the district to improve, construct, and/or expand parks, trails, community centers, playgrounds, water play areas, restrooms, ball fields, sport courts, skate parks, and zoologic facilities, expand access to parks and open spaces, acquire new park property, update deteriorating infrastructure, fund sustainability projects to protect Puget Sound, issue $155 million of general bonds maturing within a maximum of term of 21 years, and levy annual excess property taxes to repay the bonds as provided in Resolution RR 426.
I move to adopt resolution number 41872.
Moved and seconded. I'd like to call on Park Board President Matt Maurer and Terry Youngman, District-wide Capital Improvement Program Manager, Parks Tacoma. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor Ibsen, Deputy Mayor Bushnell, council members. My name is Matt Maurer. As the mayor said, I am the president of the Parks Board, or Parks Tacoma Board of Commissioners, and I'm here today to talk to you all about our park bond that's coming before the voters on April 28th. Go ahead next. Really quick, this is a $155 million bond. This will be over 100 projects and 40 parks, community centers, and zoos that will be impacted by this bond. It's a 6-year bond. And one of the really cool things that we're excited is that this will also not be raising taxes at this time. And so we've got some bonds that are expiring. The 2014 bonds are expiring. And so what we plan to do is to extend the current rate that people are paying to keep the rate exactly the same, but fund these projects for the next 6 years. Really cool, exciting projects on there. I'm excited by quite a few of them. We're going to do some renovation on Peck Field, a new People's Center. We've got some design money for a new center in the South Tacoma neighborhood. And quite a few parks in and around all of the neighborhoods within the city of Tacoma. We made it a really big effort for us to ensure that every neighborhood is touched by this. And so we're really looking forward to what we can accomplish with this vote. So I'm going to right now take it over and hand it over to my colleague, Terry Youngman. He is our Capital Programs Director for Parks Tacoma, and he's going to go a little bit more in depth for it. Go ahead.
Thanks, President Maurer, and good evening, Mayor and council members. Thanks for having me here tonight. Terry Youngman, District-wide Capital Improvement Program Manager. So we'll go to the next slide. So capital bonds, what are they? You all probably know this already, but just to capture it really quickly, these are large, long-term capital bond projects that are going to be funded through the bond program. So this is the 26 bond program. They have about a 20-year repayment period that supports those bonds. It's funding a multitude of projects, high diversity of projects all over the city. So these are hundreds of projects that are generally covered by these types of bond programs. We have a high degree of leveraging within our capital program. With the 2014 bond program, we were able to leverage an additional 40% of funding within that program. So we're bringing a lot of different funding sources to the table to help support the bond funding. The reason we go out for these capital bonds is because our operating budget is not sufficient to be able to cover such large-scale capital investments. So we go out for capital bonds to help support our capital program. And that tax amount is based on evaluation of your property value. So the last time we went out for a bond program was back in 2014. This was the Neighborhood Parks and Zoo Improvements and Safety Upgrades Bond. It was for $198 million. That was an investment over 10 years. And when compared to this current bond program that we're going out for, it's $155 million over 6 years. So that explains the difference between the two dollar amounts. This one is less, but because it has a shorter time horizon for implementation. Through the course of that bond program, I was stating a number from the last slide that we had the last time we did this. It's actually $79 million that we leveraged in additional funding through the 2014 bond. So we implemented hundreds of capital projects within that bond program. If you want to know more about that, go to parkstacoma.gov/2014 bond update for all the information about that package. Some highlights of the 2014 bond. I won't go through every single one on this list, but to identify some of the ones that have an overlap and coordination with the city of Tacoma, the People's Center pool was a major investment in the 2014 bond program, bringing a new facility online for the Hilltop community. We built a new community center on the east side, another major partnership with the city of Tacoma. We built a lot of signature facilities within our system as well. Dune Peninsula, the Melanie's Park down on the waterfront. These were major investments that we made in expanding our park system. And that's something I would note as a major difference between the 2014 bond program and what we're putting forth in the 26 bond is the 2014 bond built a lot of signature projects, big regional destinations, attractions. The 26 bond is a bit of a pivot from that. We are looking to also make investments in places like Point Defiance Park and the Reston Way waterfront, but we heard very clearly through the community that there's a desire to see a more local investment, something close to home in their neighborhoods, their community parks, their community centers, and so we'll see that shift. So rounding out some of the projects that we have in the 2014 bond, we also see Point Defiance Loop Trail Phase 2. That's work that's under construction right now. And then we've been doing a lot of playground upgrades all across the city. We just opened a park out at Oakland Madrona, which is a great representation of the type of work we're doing right now, where we're taking these playgrounds and upgrading them to current day standard. In the development of the 26 bond, we conducted a community advisory group process. We called it the Parks Bond Advisory Committee. And before we got to that Parks Bond Advisory process, we conducted about 6 months of internal analysis that helped support the baseline package that went forward to the advisory group. This process was informed by our long-range strategic plan, which included a very deep public engagement process where we went out to communities, did statistically valid surveys to help support that package being developed, and all those priorities are rolling into the development of this 26 bond program. The Parks Bond Advisory Committee consisted of 28 members from the community. These are folks representing various interests and geographic areas of the city, people from advisory councils, local government, nonprofits, businesses, and user groups. So it was really a diverse group of people who came to this setting and helped us build a package that was representative of the broader community. I also wanted to know, we used a lot of geospatial tools in the building of this 26 bond package. The map that you see up here right now is the City of Tacoma Equity Index, is something that we overlaid with our project distribution to see how the projects that we had identified, both through our internal staff prioritization process and those that came through the Parks Bond Advisory Committee, to see how they were connecting with neighborhoods that have a high degree of opportunity, or rather those that have a low opportunity, and seeing how we can serve those communities better with our park system. The Parks Bond Advisory Committee gave some really key recommendations. The most important one that we heard from that group was that this is not the time for tax increases. And as you heard President Maurer say, this is a package that does not increase the property taxes with this new bond package. So with all the economic uncertainty and looking at gas prices and spending time at a grocery store, there's not a lot of disposable income to be increasing taxes. And so it was really important that we put a package out that is thoughtful and considerate of where people are right now. They wanted to see an equitable investment across Tacoma. So every neighborhood needed to feel an investment. They needed to point at something in this package and be able to say, that's the project that's in my neighborhood. It's something that I will benefit from because of this package. They also looked at some really key categories within the package. As I said, neighborhood identity, local park investment was very key. Yes, we will make investments in our signature parks, but also people want that close to home, 10-minute walk type of a park investment so that they don't have to travel all across the city to get their outdoor recreational needs met. Connections to parks was important. It's not just about the experience you have when you are in the park, but also that experience as you get to the park. It's the right-of-way experience. And so the package carries a considerable amount of money for us to be able to partner with the city of Tacoma on greenway connections, using the right-of-way, building sidewalks, bringing in street trees, investing in placemaking along these corridors so that as people are moving towards the park, they are having a safe and a pleasant experience as they get there. We also heard through that group, really quickly, one last note, we also heard through that group that land acquisition was important. This is very much a take care of what you have type of a MON program, not a big expansion system that we're proposing here. Because of that, we needed to invest in land acquisition to capture some additional open space before it turns to private development. And so we actually increased the amount that we had for land acquisition through the Parks Bond Advisory Committee process so that we can seize those opportunities now rather than lose out on them in the future. This is a map that shows the work that we're proposing under the 26 bond. All of this is online. So if you want to see it a little bit better and not squint your eyes at the image that you see up on the screen, you can go to parkstacoma.gov/vote, and it has all this information there. But it shows a distribution of projects that are all across the city. We've really tried to thread the needle on showing a high degree of detail on the types of investments that the public would see, while still retaining some level of flexibility on the package, such that we can adapt to a dynamic system through the course of the next 6 years. As far as the financial details, the ballot measure would invest $155 million in over 40 parks and community centers with no increase to current taxes. That bond-supported projects would cost property owners the same 45 cents per $1,000 in assessed home value that they're paying now, and that translates to roughly $249 per year based on the Tacoma's average home value of $553,000. So I'm going to pass it back to President Maurer here to close this out, and then I'll be available for any questions.
Thanks, Terry. All right, next slide. Now that Terry has done all the work, I'm going to close this up here and let you guys know on April 28th, we do need a 60 plus 1% majority because it is a bond, and the validation will be the 40% of the previous general election. And so we are here. Obviously, this was a facts and information request to give you guys an information on what we're doing with the bond. And so happy to answer any questions you have about what's in the bond moving forward.
Thank you, President Maurer. Are there any council questions or comments?
All right.
Deputy Mayor, followed by Councilmember Palmer.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you for the presentation, and I really appreciate all the facts and information. I'm really excited to see this, and I'm hoping the community also sees the benefit and the equitable distribution of resourcing and support across. And I'm particularly looking forward to work in the South End around a potential community center as well. So I'm just really excited about all this, and I'm really looking forward to supporting us in the near future.
Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Palmer.
I also have no questions, but wanted to express how excited I am for this as well. I think you guys have done an amazing job listening to all of the community around Tacoma and listening to the needs. And and also listening to the fact that everything's a little too expensive right now. And so a tax raise would be a lot, but you're able to do so much in what we're already using. So I really hope community as well sees the benefit and pushes this forward. Something to remember, parks can seem maybe a little lighthearted or maybe unnecessary to some, but I think we have to look at them as public safety mechanisms, and so an investment in our parks is an investment in our public safety. So please consider thinking about it like that when you're voting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Palmer. Councilmember Rumbaugh, followed by Councilmember Walker.
Thank you, Mayor. And I just wanted to say I already said during study session that I really support this, and I want to thank Matt Maurer because I know that he's the reason that we're going to get a dog park in Northeast Tacoma.
I want to take all the credit.
Yeah, and, I just want to say I was at the last Co-Create to Recreate. It was really incredible to see so much of Northeast Tacoma out there, and if you want to talk about more conservative parts of town, I would say that some of my neighbors are, and they are really supportive. They see the benefit because we've been really conscientious about what's going to benefit them. And looking at North Point Community Center, which is, I think, over 30 years old, for some improvements is fabulous. And I just want to give a call out and shout out to Parks Tacoma because you're not just within the city boundaries. You do have some areas that you have control of, and one of them is Dash Point City Park, and they're going to get their dock fixed. And it's been like 5 or 6 years, and they're really excited about having that fixed. So I want to just thank you so much. It's exciting that with the not changing anything about the cost, it's going to be, we're able to just go ahead and do this. And so thank you, Matt, for all of your service on the Parks Commission, and thank you for staff. I've heard this now 3 times, and I really appreciate every time I hear it. I think that we have a lot of support in this room and in this city for what parks mean to our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the dog park constituency is a very persistent constituency. But there was actually a gap. There was a gap in Northeast Tacoma. So we're happy to be able to provide the service over there that wasn't there before.
They want their off-leash area. So thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Councilmember Walker.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you both for presenting. This is great. And can you remind us and the public how to get to that map so they can look at their neighborhood?
That's parkstacoma.gov/vote.
Okay, great. Love that tool. I think that we love that you're using our equity index to look at the distribution of projects too. So I don't have questions for you, but I'm going to speak briefly, Mayor, if it's okay, to the resolution. So we have a resolution before us that is in support of the proposition, and Councilmember Sadalgay, Councilmember Bushnell, Deputy Mayor Bushnell, sorry, I didn't update my talking points, and Mayor Ibsen are bringing that forward tonight. I gave a lot of comments today at study session, but just wanted to note again, Councilmember Sadalgi and I serve on the Parks Policy Board, and we're really grateful for the partnership, and that's part of why I'm really supportive of the work here, because so much of it is in partnership between the parks and the city. And we also highlighted earlier today too, and I saw that it was on your slide, Catherine Ushka's gas station park, which we're particularly proud of. And just thank you for continuing to bring things like that forward to the community that not only serve a neighborhood, but also honor people throughout the city. So appreciate the work on this. And I think we answered all the questions we could about the resolution earlier. So excited to support that and move that forward.
Thank you, Councilmember Walker. And just a bit of a question myself too. So one of the favorite things that I love and that's near and dear to me about Tacoma is that we really play well with others when it comes to smart partnerships, especially when it comes to stretching scarce dollars. And a certain brilliant local government person once talked to me about the notion of safe routes to parks. About we have such a great track record working with our school partners and keeping our kids and families safe that something that will be really of interest to a lot of people in the community is that as the city has a conversation and fleshes out where our infrastructure dollars go in areas that might be co-located, like between a park and a school. Can you tell me, President Maurer, if this were to pass and the parks has additional capital dollars, what might that mean for collaboration opportunities for keeping young people and their families safe as they try to enjoy our parks more?
Yeah, thank you for that. That actually is one of the most exciting aspects of this bond measure is our ability. It's called Parks Greenways or Greenways, and the idea is that we'll have a pot of money that we can hopefully be a value add to any kind of city infrastructure projects that either coincide with work that we're doing at the parks or are tangential or adjacent to some of our parks, so we can improve that city infrastructure so people have a safer route to our parks. And so we have this goal of everyone being within a 10-minute walk of a park, but that's kind of silent on, you can be 10 minutes from a park, but still that 10-minute walk could be a little hairy depending on where you live, right? And so the idea is that having this pot of money to be that value add, to be that matching dollars for the city infrastructure improvements, to add those bike lanes, add those crosswalks where they intersect with our walks to our parks to make it safer for folks to get there. And so very excited about that. There's no particular projects that are identified. It's more of a pot of money. And so as things happen, as grants become available, as the city decides to expand their Vision Zero program to different parts of the city, we're hoping to be a partner in that to ensure that, hey, if you need a few extra dollars here, we can get this to Park X or Park Y, right? And so we can, improve that infrastructure for folks walking. Yeah.
So you're basically saying we could potentially do more to keep pedestrians, young people and their families safer without raising taxes.
Correct.
All right, wonderful. And my own comments before we open up public comment for general members of the community is just be informed if you're voters watching this on April 28th. That's the last time to get your ballot mailed out. Be informed and do your diligence about this measure. I certainly second Councilmember Palmer's remark that parks are not just simply nice to haves, but public infrastructure, just like our streets. They're just a vital component of public safety and infrastructure. And as a proud member of the Dog Park Caucus, like Councilmember Rumbaugh, whatever we can do to advance that, I'm definitely a fan of. So thank you so much, President Maurer. Thank you for all that you and Parks Tacoma do. With that, we're going to open up public comment on this one item. If you wish to speak virtually under the public comment period just on this resolution, press the raise hand button near the bottom of your Zoom window or *9 on your phone now so we can see the number of people wishing to testify this evening. If you're speaking in person, please sign up at the back of the room if you have not done so already. Your name or the last 4 digits of your phone number will be called out when it is your turn to speak. So we have 2 in-person speakers, Michelle Reich, followed by Helen Harlow.
Michelle Reich, speaking on proposed Proposition 1 for the parks. A lot of nice things on this list here there for the parks here. General obligations bonds, that's almost like a loaning type. And it's closing in this and levy annual excess property taxes to repay the bonds. That has some concern to me there since they already are taking $250 in taxes from the Parks Department. Another issue with all these nice things is as the mayor touched in, the security of the parks and for people access to that. And because of the problem with the unhoused population using the parks as their camping ground, that is an issue to me and a lot of citizens of Tacoma. And it precludes a lot of people from enjoying the parks because of the safety issue. And even though we touched on some of the safety issues, I think there should be a greater emphasis on the safety for the park's usage for people there. And as former Deputy Mayor Daniels mentioned, $11 million was spent, and the real cost was $50 million. And
you're welcome
so-
to submit the rest of your remarks in writing too. Thank you so much for speaking. I appreciate it. Next speaker is Helen Harlow.
Hi, I'm Helen Harlow, and I'm here primarily regarding Bryant's Park, which is in the south end of Tacoma. It is a park that was developed out of a, hard for me to say, my son's incident with the Shriner attack, et cetera, et cetera. This park was developed right out of nothing with the neighborhood. And at this point, it has really become quite the spectacular place to come to. It is lacking one thing. There is a creek, and it needs a bridge across it. The Parks Department has set aside funds for this for some time, but COVID delayed. I'd like you to consider going back to that, getting this bridge in, and finalizing the safer entrance through from Park Avenue down. This park is accessed by 4 different angles, which makes it a wide range for a neighborhood. Please, get on it.
Thank you, Helen. We have one speaker who signed up online, April.
Thank you. April Smith, District 5. I just want to say that I appreciate the parks in the city of Tacoma so much, and so far this year have been to at least 20 of them, and looking forward to experiencing some more. There have been some unhoused in some of the parks, but I've never felt unsafe in them whenever I have been there, so that has been great. And I really appreciate that the Parks Board has decided to not raise taxes to cover this, because it is awfully difficult out here. So thank you for all that you do for the parks.
Thank you. With that, there is no other speakers signed in, so we're going to close public comment. And now we are going to have the actual vote on the resolution. So we have resolution number 41872 before us. All those in favor of adopting resolution number 41872, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Resolution is declared adopted. Make sure and vote, everyone. All right, item number 7. This item will have a PowerPoint presentation. Clerk, please read.
Resolution 41873, a resolution authorizing the execution of a multifamily housing 12-year limited property tax exemption agreement with South L Street Tacoma LLC for the development of 7 multifamily market and regulated rate rental housing units located at 1701 South L Street.
I move to adopt resolution number 41873.
Second.
Moved and second. I'd like to call on Paul Backer.
Good evening, Mayor Ibsen and City Council. I'm Paul Bacher with the Community and Economic Development Department. I'll be presenting on Resolution 41873. We have the next slide, Allison. So for this project, South L Street Tacoma LLC is proposing to develop 7 new market rate and affordable rental units in the UR3 expansion area. And the project will also have 2 parking spaces. Next slide, please. Can see here a breakdown of the 7 2-bedroom units with 5 market rate and 2 affordable units. Next slide, please. These images show the location of the project. Since this project is in an expansion area and not a typical mixed-use center, the map on the left provides a little more context for the location. Project costs are estimated at $1.1 million, and it's estimated to provide 5,000 labor hours of employment. Next slide, please. This table shows the tax implications. The total taxes to be generated for the city over the life of this project is estimated at $88,000. Projected property taxes to be exempted by the city are estimated at $24,000, leaving this project to provide a net positive impact to the city of $64,000. And of course, when the exemption is over, full property taxes will be assessed annually. That concludes the presentation, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any council questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution number 41873, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Resolution 41873 is declared passed. Item number 8, clerk, please read.
Resolution 41874, a resolution authorizing the execution of a letter of agreement with the Smart TD Conductor Unit regarding a new classification of railway conductor trainee.
I move to adopt resolution number 41874.
Second.
Moved and second, I'd like to call on Alan Matheson.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. I'm Alan Matheson. I'm superintendent for Tacoma Rail. As the clerk stated, this resolution seeks authorization of a letter of agreement negotiated with Smart TD labor union. Historically, rail has relied on lateral recruitment of certified conductors from other railroads, given the job specification has a 1-year prior experience provision and requires candidates to possess a Federal Railroad Administration conductor certification as a baseline for employment. Rail staff have identified the 1-year prior experience requirement as a false barrier, impeding our ability to recruit and train Tacoma residents to perform this work. Smart TD members have engaged with Tacoma Rail management on the development of an in-house training program to allow candidates with no railroad experience an opportunity to become a journey-level railway conductor, and both parties have agreed to establish a new classification titled Railway Conductor Trainee, recognizing Smart TD as the exclusive bargaining representative. These positions will be classified as Category B, overtime eligible, with 4-step pay range at 70, 75, 80, and 85% of journey level hourly wage for railway conductors. Progression through the pay range will be based on a trainee's successful completion through 4 stages of training curriculum consisting of both classroom and in-field on-the-job training designed to demonstrate understanding and provide an opportunity to hone skills with peer mentors. Following completion of the 9-month training cycle, conductor trainees will be eligible to compete for promotion to a vacant railway conductor position. The promotion for this is not guaranteed and will be determined by rail management in a manner that's consistent with civil service rules, the collective bargaining agreement, and based on business needs at the time. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions council members may have.
Thank you. Are there any council questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution number 41874, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Resolution is declared passed. Thank you. Moving on to final reading of ordinances. Item 9, clerk, please read.
Ordinance 29097, an ordinance amending Chapter 1.12 of the Municipal Code relating to the compensation plan to implement rates of pay and compensation for employees represented by IBEW Local 483 Customer and Field Services and Human Resources Units.
This item was presented on March 10th, 2026. Are there any additional council questions or comments? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Bushnell?
Aye.
Councilmember Diaz?
Aye.
Councilmember Hines?
Aye.
Councilmember Palmer?
Aye.
Councilmember Rumba?
Aye.
Councilmember Sidalgate absent. Councilmember Scott?
Aye.
Councilmember Walker?
Aye.
Mayor Ibsen?
Aye. The ordinance is declared passed. Moving on to item number 10, this presentation will also cover item 11. Clerk, please read.
Ordinance 29098, an ordinance amending Chapter 1.12 of the Municipal Code relating to the compensation plan to implement rates of pay and compensation for employees represented by Smart TD Conductor Unit.
I'd like to call on Carrie Louie.
Good evening, Mayor Ibsen and members of the City Council. I'm Carrie Louie, Assistant Human Resources Director. I have 2 ordinances to present this evening. Ordinance 29098 provides for the implementation of provisions of the letter of agreement as negotiated with the Sheet Metal Air, Rail, and Transportation Division Smart TD Conductors Unit presented earlier this evening. The ordinance provides for the creation of the classification of railway conductor trainee. The classifications will be classified overtime category B with a 4-step pay range set at 70, 75, 80, 85% of the journey level hourly rate for railway conductor. Railway conductor trainees will serve a 9-month probationary period and upon completion will be eligible to compete for a promotion to a vacant permanent railway conductor position. Ordinance 29099 provides for the implementation of amendments to the Tacoma Municipal Code, Personnel Rules Section 1.24971, 1.24974, 1.24976, and 1.24977. The Civil Service Board has reviewed and approved support of these recommended changes at the Civil Service Board meeting on March 5th, 2026, and transmitted them to the City Clerk. The changes being made include revisions to job titles currently in use for classified positions within Tacoma Rail and to add language to provide for a 9-month probationary period for the new classification of railway conductor trainee. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Carrie. Are there any council questions or comments? Seeing none, this ordinance will be set over for final reading next week. Thank you. Item 11, clerk, please read.
Ordinance 29099, an ordinance amending Chapter 1.24 of the Municipal Code relating to the personnel rules by amending various sections to reflect current city policies, practices, and procedures and provide a probationary period for the classification railway conductor trainee as approved by the Civil Service Board.
Thank you. This item was just presented. Are there any additional council questions or comments? Seeing none, this ordinance will be set over for final reading next week. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, City Manager, do you have a report?
Thank you, Mayor Ibsen, members of council, Deputy Mayor. Just 2 brief reports related to TPD. I would like to just preliminary give you some information that I received as of today. The Tacoma Police Department has received notice of their award for their annual, actually, it's not annual, on a 5-year basis, their CALIA accreditation for police standards. So I suspect we will probably bring this back to you all. I want to acknowledge the team at TPD that has worked through many years to get us back to reaccreditation with CALIA. And I want to start with Erica Hagan, our past police administration support specialist, Sergeant Kelly Costas, our accreditation manager, who has been shepherding this effort, Lieutenant Jeff Katz, Captain Pat Patterson, AC Chief Carl, as well as Patty Jackson, our Chief of Police, and their efforts on this end. Additionally, Mayor, as you are aware, and I'm hoping that Council will become aware, we've also received a grant award related to DUI emphasis. So starting on Monday, we have noticed the public at this point that we will be looking to have emphasis patrols, increased patrols to reduce impaired driving related crashes through proactive, data-driven enforcement and community engagement. We will have actual emphasis patrols related to DUI. This is made possible with a high visibility saturation patrol grant from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, and the City of Tacoma is hopeful that with these emphasis patrols, we will be able to prevent fatal and severe crashes across the city. Pursuant to the City Council's Resolution 40559, the city has a admirable goal to eliminate through Vision Zero severe and fatal crashes across the city. And so with that, more information will be coming out. A press release has gone out as of today. And that's my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, City Manager. Moving on to comments and committee reports of the City Council, I'd like to first call on Chair Rumbaugh from the Community Vitality and Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The CVS committee has convened twice since the last report, and that's Community Vitality and Safety Committee. The committee met on February 12th with an agenda featuring the review of City of Tacoma 5-year homeless strategy. At this meeting, CVS also interviewed interested parties to fill seats on the Human Rights Commission and the Human Services Commission. The February 26th meeting was canceled. The CVS committee met on March 12th, 2026 with the International Property Maintenance Code implementation update, neighborhood and community services systems and strategy issue statement, and building resilience against youth violence and exploitation update. Our next meeting will be this Thursday, March 26th. The committee plans to interview interested parties to fill seats on the Human Services Commission and to review the 2026 Annual Action Plan for Housing and Urban Development Grant Programs. That meeting will occur in room 243 of the Tacoma Municipal Building. Virtual attendance options will be available for the public. Mayor Ibsen, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chair Rumbaugh. Are there any additional council questions or comments? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to take a moment of this time to really just talk about what we heard about earlier during public comment. I really think it's reprehensible that we are hearing racist language in that way. I know we do have First Amendment rights to say what we want to say in this country, but at least for me and for these chambers and who we represent, that's not what I want to hear in these council chambers. And I did not want to let that go untalked about. So I'm just very angry about it. So thank you.
You're not the only one who feels that way, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Any additional council comments? All right, well, seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Well, I move to excuse Councilmember Sadalgi from the meeting tonight.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. Councilmember Sadalgi is excused.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. We are adjourned.